Hi, I'm Julie, and welcome to our Easter edition, episode 44 on mydamactv.com. The Easter holiday is coming up this weekend, so today we're going to explore how the Danes celebrate Easter. Joining me on the show today is my friend Sabine Jensen, who has been our guest host for the episode 30. Sabine, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here again.
It's good to have you back. Now, we stand in front of a church, Venløs Church.
Yep, this is where I had my confirmation many years ago.
Yeah, and Sabine, the reason why we start with the show in front of the church is that Easter is one of the most important holidays for those who follow in Christianity.
Yep, the holiday actually commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ 3 days after his crucifixion.
Yeah. How religious do the Danes celebrate Easter?
Well, many adults, they actually go to church, and the latest research shows that it has increased. Back in, I think, 2002, 25% they attended church around holidays, not just for Easter. And it increased until up till 30% in 2008.
Yeah.
But I would still say that in general, in Denmark, we celebrate the holidays, also Easter, with the family, and we have a good time, we have fun and play games and just get together and, embrace that the spring is coming.
Well, I know that many children are looking forward to the Easter holiday because, they get in like 1 week or one and a half week off from the school.
Yeah, they do. And that gives them time to do a lot of different games around Easter. They paint eggs. And they have different rolling games with the eggs. They have blowing feathers. They make teasing letters also.
Now, I know that later in the show we're going to come back to the teaser letter. So now I think let's take a walk to Føtex, which is the supermarket right in here, and see what they have.
Okay.
So Sabine, now we stand in front of many different types of chocolate eggs. So can you tell us since when this tradition of chocolate egg comes to Denmark?
I think it starts in the early 19th century, where the real egg is actually replaced. And that's because, I guess, kids wanted to get more into the game also. It was fun for the kids. But then after the Second World War, it had a big breakthrough, I guess you could call it, because of all the rationing and the hard times during the war. So it was about that time.
Yeah, it tastes very good too.
Yeah.
Now let's walk over to the Easter Bunny. Now we can see this is a big and lovely Easter Bunny, and I know that you have something very interesting to say about this tradition.
Yep. It's a tradition that originates from Germany, actually. And it came to Denmark also in the beginning of the 19th century. And as we say, the Easter Bunny jumped the border at that time. But it never made it further than to the southern part of Jutland for some weird reason. So it's not a tradition that's all over Denmark. But the tradition is that on Easter morning, the kids, they go out in the backyard or somewhere around the house, and the parents, they have hidden eggs, chocolate eggs or real eggs or painted eggs for the kids to find. And of course they're told that it's the Easter Bunny that has laid the eggs.
Oh, okay.
So actually the parents, they built a little nest made out of moss, so the kids, they look for the nests. And I remember doing that a lot when I was a kid, and I loved it.
That sounds like a very wonderful tradition.
It was.
Yeah. Now let's move to the food area and talk a little bit about the Danish food for Easter.
Okay.
So Sabine, now you take me to the herring section. Is this what we normally eat?
It is what we eat at Easter time.
Yeah.
We eat it at Christmas also, like we talked about before. We just love herring.
Yeah.
And we have eggs. And as a warm dish, we either have chicken or lamb. Lamb is a typical thing for Easter, but we don't have it that much anymore because the Easter comes so early, so the lamb is actually not mature enough to be slaughtered. So it's only sometimes that it's just the perfect time. Yeah. But if it is, we would love to have chicken and lamb. And then we have, of course, our Easter brew and snaps.
Snaps. Similar to Christmas in many ways, actually.
It is. There's just, focus on the lamb and on the chicken a little more here. But something goes again in those lunches.
Well, Sabine, Easter also marks the beginning of the spring.
It does.
So what are the typical flowers that people normally relate when it comes to Easter?
We actually have some right here. We have the crocus, and usually I know them as purple and as white. I haven't seen them in orange that often. They grow wild in the ground here in Denmark. They're wildflowers, and so is the Easter lily. And you can then also buy them here. You can see, and they're very inexpensive, so they're a great decoration for Christmas. And then the third one, which we don't have here, is the snowdrop.
Yeah.
And that also grows in the ground, and pretty one, a little white one, and very unique for Christmas. I'm sorry, for Easter.
Yeah. Well, even though it's not purple, but I still think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It is still. So I think let's go home.
Oh wait, actually, you know, I have one here.
Oh,
You can see it in purple. That's the way it looks.
oh, that's beautiful too.
It has a little more, I think, power to it when it's
Yeah,
purple.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. But for the snowdrop, I know it's going to relate to the teaser letter we're going to go home and make right now.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. So let's go.
Okay.
Now we are back at Sabina's place to explore more about the Easter tradition. And Sabina, I can see that you have some beautiful decorations. For example, those eggs.
Yeah, this is what we talked about earlier, that these are painted eggs. So this is a real egg where the egg has been removed. There's a certain technique for that, I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
And after that, you paint it, and you actually put it in the oven for a very brief time to make the coloring harden.
Yeah.
You can also not do it, but some people they do that. So I think they're very beautiful.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think these small ones here are actually made by my aunt. They're ceramic eggs, and the big chickens here, the yellow chickens here, are also cut by some family members many years ago. So we always put them up for Easter time. Yeah.
Now let's talk about teaser letter.
The teaser letter,
Which is special. It's actually a unique Danish tradition.
It is. It actually comes from what's called tying letters way back in the 18th century, which I think originates from Germany. And back in the old days, you would make a tying letter to either a boyfriend or girlfriend or someone that you wanted to propose to. And you would actually, in this letter, you know, tie them to some kind of a commitment, or at least try to. You could also send it to a friend to try and make them have a party. So they would again kind of commit if you made that letter and you wrote in a very secret way that you wanted them to have a party. They had to make the party.
Okay.
And that evolved into the Danish teaser letter, which is very unique for us. I don't think any other country has it actually.
Okay. So what is it about? How do you do it? And
well, I have one right here actually. And what you do is that you fold it in certain ways, and then you cut out small patterns. And you usually add a snowdrop flower, but since we don't have any because it's so cold, I just drew a few. And I drew a few eggs on it. And then you write a poem on it.
Yeah, I can see you writing something here.
I wrote something here which is the most common one, and it says, mit navn, det står med prikker, pas på det ikke stikker. Which is in English more or less, riddle my name, this is the game. So what you do is that you write this on, and then your name is put in dots here. How many dots your name is in letters. And you send it to someone. So if the receiver guesses it, you have to give them a Easter egg, a chocolate Easter egg. And if the receiver does not guess it, I think they have like 3 times they can try. Then you need an Easter egg from them. Then you need to call them up and say, listen, I sent you a teaser letter and you never guessed it, so you owe me a Easter egg. Do you want to try and make one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah? Okay. That's very beautiful. And then you could take the colors here if you wanted to, and then, you know, paint something on it, whichever suits you. Oh, that's so pretty.
Let's see. This is the end result. Well, that's all from us today about Easter tradition. Sabina, thank you so much for joining me on the show today and share with us your experience. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm glad to share for the viewers. Yeah.
So thanks for watching and see you next time.
Bye.
Ấy phải không được ba chứ cầm cầm ba không that's why I can speak.